Baltimore. Can Marshall's Colts make themselves at home against the Ravens? It's a rumble in the jungle as the Jags clash with the Bengals. Can anyone stop Jamal's Dirty Birds? And will Favre lead the pack past Philly? NFL Primetime, coming up next. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson, and let us be the last to wish you a happy Thanksgiving Day holiday. Week 13, and you had a feel. Well, the Week 13 got started off with that coin flip on Thanksgiving in Detroit. So you had a feeling there'd be some bizarre games today.
Yeah, but it was neither heads nor tails as we watched.
You're right, and neither were some of the games today, although some very intriguing finishes in some of the late games. Well, you talk about intrigue and you talk about heart, and both were apparent because for the first time since they went away in the middle of the night in 1984 in the winter, the Colts were at Baltimore. An emotional day in Baltimore as the Colts played the Ravens. This is a scene no Baltimorean will ever forget. With it went the memories at that time of Johnny Unitas and Raymond Berry and so many great teams. Johnny U on the Ravens sideline, as he is so many times. Message for the Earthsays, message for the Colts. They will not forget in Baltimore. But I tell you what, it was the Colts that certainly remembered to bring their offense. Peyton Manning, Marshall Faulk, 34 yards, touchdown. Marshall did it with 7 catches for 75 yards, but he really did it with 17 carries for 192 yards, over 1,000 yards. Look at him go. Good. Go all the way. 68 yards, 267 yards, all told, rushing and receiving for Marshall Faulk. It was the Marshall plan. 17-10, the Colts lead second quarter. Peyton Manning to turn small. He had a big day. Colts outgained Baltimore 339-99 in the first half. They're rolling 24-13. Third quarter. One-time Indianapolis Colts quarterback Jim Harbaugh to Jermaine Lewis. Lewis sprains his ankle on the play, but we know what an athlete he is, Tom.
Well, very difficult to cover him deep. There are very few guys who can run with him, and you saw his ankle right there get rolled over.
Now it's 31-21, and a big difference in the game, even though the Colts had many more yards. Corey Harris, 5 kickoff returns for almost 200 yards. So Teddy Marchibroda's Ravens starting most drives near the 40, while the Colts were starting most of their drives inside the 20. So Harbaugh to Floyd Turner, 29 yards. Colts lead down to 31-28. Indy 3 and out. Priest holds. Make him the Pope. 39 yards. Ravens lead 35-31. Last chance for the Colts. Just over a minute to go. Manning to Faulk. Deflected to Ralph State. It's picked. It's fumbled. But the Ravens fall on it. And the fans send their feelings. An emotional day in the big crab cake. And the new Baltimore team beats the one-time Baltimore team. 38-31. Ravens over the Colts, despite 357 passing for Manning and a 540 to 314 yards advantage for Indianapolis, Tom.
Yeah, big run by Priest Holmes. The long play put back in the Ravens offense by Teddy Marchibroda. You saw Jim Harbaugh going to Jermaine Lewis again. This is what we were used to seeing at the beginning of the year.
And everyone in Baltimore said, no matter what you do, don't lose this game. And you know what? They didn't. Still to come. Oh, Doug Flutie returning to Foxborough. Would he weave his magic in the big Bills-Pats game? And could the Bucs win in Soldier Field? They hadn't won here. They're in the 90s. Junior Seau and the Chargers. Can they pull the unthinkable upset? Can they beat the 11-0 Broncos? That's their task at 8:15 Eastern. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not won at Soldier Field since 1989, and Moses Moreno. The Bears hoping, no, not Haven Moses, not Moses Malone. He would lead them to the promised land. Holder and Putter Mike Durant, directional holding. The shovel pass to Ryan Wetnight, touchdown. Dave wants that, trying to pull out the stops at 7-7.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it. You're going to see Ryan Wetnight as the right wing. Andy Heck on the opposite side, along with Chris Villarreal. The nice two-hand push by the former Bronco Haran, and Wetnight with a clear lane to the end zone.
Now watch the following kickoff. It's not an onside kick, but it may as well be one. Jeff Mick Jagger kicks it off. Riedel Anthony lets it bounce. Hey, this is a live ball, and it's Wetnight again. That's Johnny on the spot. and the Bucs pick it up it's picked up by the Bears at the 23-yard line. Chicago ball. 2 plays later, Moreno. I love that Moses wears number 4. Moreno to Curtis Conway, and the Bears lead 14-7. 7th-round pick from Colorado State, the rookie, with his first career TD pass. Tony Dungy says we need some big plays, and Jeff Gooch stole Christmas. Blocks Horan's punt. Rondé Barber goes down as a 22-yard punt return. What a great play off the block, tying at 14. The end of half, Bears offsides. Play cannot end on a defensive penalty. One more play for Tampa Bay. Trent Dilfer throws. What should Chicago do, Tom?
Knock it down.
They don't knock it down. Bryce Hunter, the young man who you saw carted off on that Monday night game in September. Remember that scary scene? He's there to catch the touchdown.
And you cannot go out of bounds and be the first guy to touch the ball. Hunter was not the first guy. That's a legal catch.
And the Bucs kept rolling in the second half. Trent Dilfer had 3 touchdown passes in the game. And the Bucs, hey, they get a break. They're 0-17 when it's 40 degrees or below lifetime. It was balmy in the Windy City. They didn't have to battle the thermometer. They won the game. 31-17, and it's odd to say, but at 5-7, they're in the hunt for the wild card spot. Trust me. Eagles trying to pull one of the biggest upsets of the year. Reggie White have other ideas for the Pack. Jake the Snake Plummer, but he can still weave his magic in Kansas City. 10. Now it's 24-10. Jake Plummer, the last 2 weeks, is going for 716 yards. You know he's going to fire it to Frank Sanders. Sanders dives. They rule he's just out of bounds, but Morrell scores to make it 24-17. Chiefs answer. Gannon. Alexander. Nifty move. 31-17 Chiefs. 3 TDs last 2 games from Gannon to Alexander. Cards next drive. Plummer. To Rob Moore. First, the signal is a touchdown, but then they say out of bounds.
Yeah, if you watch Rob Moore right here at the end of this play, looks like he get pushed out. The official only had one look at it. They ruled it incomplete.
The Cardinals, though, shake it off. Plummer drops to Larry self-centers. Pulls his way to the 2. Mario Bates touchdown makes it 31-24. Now 34-24. Plummer trying to get a quick score and then an onside kick. Watch this. Rob Moore, out of his hands, off his foot. Mark McMillan in white intercepts it to clinch the game. And the Chiefs, one of Tommy's favorite words, off the schneid. They beat Arizona 34-24. And Gannon to Alexander, the big combination and the sigh of relief is you can hear it all the way from Arrowhead.
Well, and certainly I think that any time you get the kind of consistency that you got from the running game today, 15 carries, 76 yards, Bam Morris, that's going to give you the ability to play action pass. We saw Gannon today, 21 of 28, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had an outstanding day because they ran the football. And it's not necessarily 100 yards, 150 yards. It's per carry average that allows you to have some success doing play action pass.
And Arizona didn't need the news that their fine pass rusher, Eric Swans, decided to have elective surgery. And he's already been out a month, and now he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Not what they need is they try to get toward the wild card first, although Eric says he needs it, and who we to question his threshold of pain, but that's something they'll have to deal with. Rams, Falcons, could they keep it going? And the Jets, could they beat a team they were supposed to beat that had been their problem? Would Curtis be my favorite? Mine. Terrell Davis and the Broncos return to the site of their Super Bowl win over the Packers and his MVP. That's at 8:15 Eastern Time. Atlanta, a win, and they would be in the playoffs. But no Chris Chandler. Tony Graziani starting the port cider. And guess what? Atlanta wanted to make sure that exactly this is what we're going to call on the flip. Heads, Chris Chandler watching. That's been Atlanta's bugaboo when he doesn't play. Graziani struggled.
Yeah, nice roll here to the right. Throws the ball to no one in particular except a Ram.
And you know that look for Dan Reeves. Rams down 3-0 at the half, open to kick off third quarter. Tony Horn of plenty. Little Bighorn. You look at Morton Anderson. This is why he's been in the league that long. No need for that. And he could go all the way. 103 yards. Rams lead 7-3. But if you're the Falcons, quarterback question, you give it to Jamal Anderson. 37 yards. Down to the 7. Leads the field goal 7-6. Steve DeBerg replaces Graziani and the 44-year-old wonder. Chances are would find Terrence Mathis. 27 yards, 14-6 Falcons. They make the two-point conversion. Tony Banks, yank. Steve, I got you, babe, Bono. In. Rams down 14-7. Bono to Ricky Prohl. Shampoos his way for 21 yards. Leads to a field goal, 14-10. To Jamal Anderson. Man, he's a load. He's fast. He's one of the best in the game. 27 yards. Touchdown. The Dirty Bird dance. Anderson with 360 yards in the 2 games, 2 wins against the Rams this year. The Atlanta Falcons are 10-2. Dan Reeves joined Chuck Knox as the only man to lead 3 different franchises into the playoffs. Congratulations to the Falcons.
Yeah, Jamal Anderson, 31 carries, 188 yards. The things that don't show up in those stats, the durability, and he does not fumble the ball.
188 yards on the 31 carries, as you mentioned. He is just a load. And for the first time this year, or for the first time ever, without Chris Chandler starting, the Atlanta Falcons have won a game. They're now 1-3. 16-8 with Chandler. That's what we were trying to spit out. Well, the New York Football Jets have had a great season. They're one of the tri-leaders of the AFC East, but the one thing they've had is when they've played teams they were supposed to beat, if you will. They lost in a home game against Baltimore. They had lost at St. Louis. They had lost at Indy. Well, 1's an accident, 2's a trend, 3's a problem. But when you're with Bill Parcells, 4 didn't happen. They were playing Carolina, and I think the Jets got the message today, Tom. Not again. Curtis Martin, last 8 games, 6 have been 100-yard games. Martin breaks some tackles, gone. 60 yards, that's his longest run of the year. Look at the speed he shows. 10-7 Jets, and what downfield blocking?
Well, you watch the block. It helps to free him. You talk about the wide receivers being active in the blocking there. You see Wayne Corbett on Kevin Green makes a nice lane for Curtis Martin.
Jets lead 13-7 in the second reverse. The Keyshawn Johnson, just hand him the damn ball. Mawai, Corbett, Dedrick Ward blocks, and we take a look at it again because they are great downfield.
Yeah, let's take a look at the first 2 blocks from the backside position. There you see Mawai getting it right, the block right there, and there comes Wayne Corbett cleaning up as Keyshawn goes toward the cone.
Third quarter, 22-7 Jets. Vinny Testaverde. Look at the nimble one. Vinny scrambling. Keith Byers against Kevin Green. Green down. Sets up a 1-yard Martin run.
Yeah, they had Kevin Green in coverage on this play. He got into the end zone, kind of reset himself in a 3-point stance, comes up, and you see him take the hit right there on the head from Keith Byers.
He suffered a concussion, was all right after it did not return. Brian Cox, fine during the week. He's fine on Sunday. Sacked Steve Berline for the safety. 5 sacks this year for Cox, 31 the Jets.
Yeah, Brian Cox on the twist right there on Steve Berline, and a great job of not letting him get by with the overarm with the football and then get the ball off.
Hey, who says the refs are having a tough week? Look at Jim Quirk, the umpire, take Todd Berger and make him hamburger. You get down and stay down. We're not fighting here. Jets lead by 20 in the fourth. Testaverde. Throw him the damn ball. Wayne Corbett, 21 yards, 2 TDs to Corbett. The Jets in a laughing 48-21. They've won 5 straight home games for the first time in 12 years. $110 for Martin, so he's over 1,000 yards. Vinny, 16 of 21 for 255. And it's a combination platter of coaching and execution. The Jets do a lot of little things well, and it's not an accident.
Well, the blocking of the wide receivers, as we saw there, Wayne Corbett on a guy like Kevin Green, getting him out of the way, clearing the way for Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin seems now to have found that rhythm that you want to get into the running game. Vinny Testaverde playing off of the play-action pass. And defensively, as I stated this morning, Bill Belichick, now you're in Week 13, Game 12. He is still coming up with new things in terms of attacking the other team's offense that they haven't seen over the course of the season. So preparation against this team, very difficult right now.
5 sacks today for the Jets. They outgained Carolina 456-216. And they're 8-4 and very solid with an easier schedule than their division rivals toward the end. As we go inside the numbers, last year they almost made the playoffs at 9-7. Improved offense this year. Not that last year was bad, but this year featuring Curtis Martin running, they are averaging what? 31 yards more a game rushing. Overall yards a game, over 60 more per game. 456 today means they got offense and they got defense. They're ranked in the top 10 in each category.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
When we return, the Dolphins defense so tough at home as the Saints found out. Could the Bengals make it 4 for 4 in Cincy against Jacksonville, or would Mark Brunell and the Jags have other ideas? Jacksonville 0 for 3 lifetime at Cincinnati, if you can believe that. Mark Brunell and the Jags lost to Pittsburgh last week. So they figured they should jump on the Bengals. 4th and 2, first quarter. Oh, the quick drop to Jimmy Smith. Touchdown to beat Chartrell Hawkins. 7-0 Jaguars. Although they lost Tony Baselli with a sprained right ankle, hopefully that's not for too long. Paul Justin, his second starter quarterback for Cincinnati, and Kevin Hardy was just in time. Steps in front of the pass, returns it to the 11. Sets up. Jags 3rd and goal. After Hardy's play, and Brunell's going to field the blitz, Tommy, and he throws nicely on the slant to Keenan McCardell. 14-0, and maybe 16-0 if you get 2 points for the finger roll. Neil O'Donnell comes in to replace the ineffective Justin. And what does Neil do? Well, why don't we hand it to Corey Dillon?
And Corey Dillon, another one of these backs. He's got power, but he has the elusiveness that he can avoid people. You see him make a nice cut right there at the goal line and get the ball inside the 10.
And then watch again, Tommy, because Carl Slim Pickens, you must have taught him this in your neighborhood.
Well, Carl coming to make a nice block here on Donovan Darius. You're going to see him line him up right there and hits him nice and high. That's a nice, clean block, but very effective.
One play later, O'Donnell, time, Tony McGee, touchdown, 20-17. The Bengals are within 3. So the Jags say, all right, let's go. And they've driven right down the field. Mark Brunell to McCardell. What a fine leaping catch. McCardell with the touchdown. That's the fadeaway jumper, this time showing his whole repertoire. NBA on strike. McCardell wants to show that, he can hit from the inside. He can hit from outside. 4 touchdown passes for Mark Brunell. That's his career high. 4 Bengal turnovers turned to 17 Jaguars points. And Jacksonville didn't turn the ball over at all. Played a smart team.
And yet you see there, Corey Dillon, 16 carries, 107 yards. So he gives them the kind of yardage they need on the ground to be successful.
But the Bengals have lost 7 straight. And the Jaguars are up to 9-3 with a 2-game lead now in their division again. Would the Raiders roll past the Skins, or would Washington have a surprise? And could you believe that the Eagles played the Packers toe-to-toe at Lambeau? Better stay tuned. With only 2 wins at playoff bound, they hope Oakland, who gets Jeff George back for a start. They're 80, coming in at 7-4, but they watch Brian Mitchell, one of the best in the game, and he has one man to beat. Leo Araguz saves the day. 57-yard return does, though, set up a Skins touchdown. So he momentarily saved the day. Napoleon Compton takes his hand out of the vest. 23 yards, tied at 7-all. Compton, 121 yards in the first half. Jeff George trying to give the Raiders the lead. Looking for Tim Brown. In and out of his hands, Sean Barber clips it. And shaving a haircut, 2 bits. Redskins capitalized 2 plays later. Trent Green to Leslie Shepard. Marquise Walker, no interception. It's a touchdown, just like they drew it up.
Yeah, unusual play. Marquise Walker is going to intercept this ball, tries to make the overhand grab, keeps the ball in the air, and Shepard, nice job of concentrating to get it for a touchdown.
So the Raiders down 17-7 for John Gruden. George bench. Donald Hollis, who's played so well in relief, he gets in, and under pressure to James Jett, picked off by the 8th one, Darrell Green. Mark Boutte shakes his Boutte, hits Hollis, fumble, recovers in the end zone, but it's a safety. And Norm Turner has not had many days like this year, but the Redskins really put a shocker to the Raiders' playoff hope. Beat him 29-19 as Trent Green 16 of 31, 224, 3 touchdowns, first road win of the year for the Redskins. Eagles at the Packers. This one of the makings of a blowout. Ray Rhodes used to be defensive coordinator for Mike Holmgren. Team winless on the road in last 15 games since Chuck Bednarik played. Dorsey Levens out 9 weeks is a great sight. He's back in running the ball. Looked okay. Roel Preston, watch out. Oh, he's drilled by Mike Caldwell. Can understand the fumble. Tom, some anxious moments.
Well, great job of timing up a hit by Caldwell here. And Raul Preston, you see the head and the chest snap right there. And he was down for a while, but he did return to the game. So, but a great hit by Caldwell.
3-0 Packers as Ray Rhodes brought his defense, that's for sure. Brett Favre to Derek Holmes. What a big game this former Buffalo Bill had. Eludes a tackler. What a move he makes to the outside. 24 yards. Sets up a touchdown, 10-0 Pack. The Eagles were led by Coy Detmer, brother of Ty. First NFL start. He crackers one to Jeff Graham. 16-yard touchdown. First wide receiver touchdown for the Eagles all year. Look at Detmer. You think he's excited? Pumped? Pumped? Too much time on the backswing, I think. Eagles trail 10-6 at the half. Detmer hits Deuce Staley. It's an ace. Staley, 29-yard gain. 3rd and goal. Philadelphia at the Packers score. Detmer to Graham again. Graham's like his first touchdown catches in like 2 years. Look at that. Yeah. He's looking at the Packers sideline. The Eagles lead at 13-10. Packers say enough already. Derek Holmes, midway through the 3rd. He goes over 100 yards rushing. Next play, Favre. Antonio Freeman makes the pretty spin at the 10. Touchdown. Favre looks at the Eagles sideline, says, no. Got to give the Eagles the nod. They played the Packers tough in the game. No one gave them a chance in. But in the end, Green Bay wins at 24-16 with 499 yards of total offense.
Yeah, and we've seen the Green Bay Packers do a lot of good things over the course of the last 3 years, but I think they spent the better part of the season this year searching for the running back to replace Dorsey Levens. And ironic that we see Derek Holmes on his best day, on a day that Dorsey Levens returns to the lineup. He is the closest thing that they have come to Dorsey Levens. The power, the timing, you saw it on the screen in the highlight package. So this could be a different football team as they get to the playoffs.
Well, Derek Holmes at 163 yards, and Levens even being back is a welcome sight for Packer fans who win it and go to 8-4. When we return, Dan Marino. Big Monday night game passing, going to continue against the Saints. And could Drew Bledsoe do it again, march the field in the final minute or so to win a game? We'll show you. Chargers, Broncos at 8:15 Eastern. John Elway and the Broncos go 12-0, become the 3rd team ever to do it. Broncos, Chargers, 8:15 Eastern. On to the other parts of the puzzle in the AFC East. Miami, Savage giving up 6 points a game at home. Dan Marino and the Dolphins at home to face the New Orleans Saints. Marino against young Kerry Collins, who seems to have found another home in New Orleans. Well, except not today. Loses the snap. Dragged down from behind by Kenny Mixon. 3 sacks against Mike Ditka's team in the first half. Dolphins, though, trail 3-0 in the second quarter. Marino. Look at the nimble Marino. Find Troy Drayton. Why? He drops it, and look at that look. You've seen that before. Marino. Back to pass. Picked up by Rob Kelly. 29. Chargers, Broncos at 8:15 Eastern. John Elway and the Broncos go 12-0, become the 3rd team ever to do it. Broncos, Chargers, 8:15 Eastern. On to the other parts of the puzzle in the AFC East. Miami, Savage giving up 6 points a game at home. Dan Marino and the Dolphins at home to face the New Orleans Saints. Marino against young Kerry Collins, who seems to have found another home in New Orleans. Well, except not today. Loses the snap. Dragged down from behind by Kenny Mixon. 3 sacks against Mike Ditka's team in the first half. Dolphins, though, trail 3-0 in the second quarter. Marino. Look at the nimble Marino. Find Troy Drayton. Why? He drops it, and look at that look. You've seen that before. Marino. Back to pass. Picked off by Rob Kelly. 29 yards. The Saints think an upset. Boy, they play hard. It's 10-3 New Orleans.
Yeah, and you're going to see Arondé Gadsden here on a shallow crossing pattern. He's going to run into the official, what breaks the pattern up just as Marino's releasing the ball and allows Rob Kelly to make the interception.
The Dolphins come back as Ditka gives Kelly the big congrats. Marino. Yeah, O.J. did it. To O.J. McDuffie across the middle, 22 yards. Career touchdown pass, 399 for Marino. A perfect throw.
Almost couldn't see it the first time. Boom. Throw a little bit low. Watch McDuffie pick that ball right off his knees. That's a great grab with the hands.
13-10 Miami at the half. First play of the fourth quarter. Dolphins up 16-10. A little history. Marino to McDuffie. He's inside the flag, and he comes back to give Marino the ball, the first man ever to throw for 400 touchdown passes. Congratulations, Dan. 23-10 Dolphins. Marino having so much fun with McDuffie, says, we'll do it again. Post pattern 3 times. And the Saints were tough for a while, but in the end, it was Miami going away. They win at 30-10. Marino 22 of 40 for 255 and the 3 touchdowns. McDuffie 9 for 102, and another fine day for the Dolphin defense, who held New Orleans to just 157 yards. Biggest game of the day in the AFC East was Buffalo 7-4 at 6-5 New England. A tale of quarterbacks. Drew Bledsoe. Would he play? Wouldn't he play? The broken index finger on his passing hand. It was right up to game time if he could go. As for the Bills, the return of the prodigal son. Doug Flutie, Boston legend, returned as the enemy, if you will, today in Buffalo garb. His lifetime at Schaefer/Sullivan/Foxborough Stadium, college and pro, he was 10-0 as a starter. Could the Patriots recoup the magic from Monday night? Bledsoe against Flutie, and Bledsoe, not Zolak, is going to start. 56 straight starts for Bledsoe. Maybe the finger hurt him a little bit here. Thomas Smith steps in front of Jefferson, and the Bills take over on the pick. Doug Flutie to Eric Moles. Well, that combination has clicked to the Patriots 49. Moles hit a big day. 12 plays later, Steve Christie, usually one of the most reliable, he struggled this year, misses 35-yard field goal. Remember it. So the Bills have controlled it for almost the entire first quarter. They have nothing to show for it. Bledsoe, Terry Glenn. They're a different team, Tom, with him in the lineup.
Well, Terry Glenn forces you to give him the attention, roll the defense his way.
Bills did a pretty good job in Robert Edwards, except when it came to catching the ball. Bledsoe to Edwards, 7-0 touchdown. How is Edwards wide open, Tommy?
Well, watch the nice screen here by Ben Coates. Just keep your eye on the tight end. He came in motion. He starts to muscle through a couple of guys, and he creates the screen to allow the pass to be caught.
Dan, little razzle-dazzle. The shovel pass from Flutie to Kevin Williams, but stopped after 2 yards. It's a 14-0 lead. Christie doinks one in off the left upright. Bills finally get a field goal. They're down 14-3. Now it's 14-6 third quarter. Flutie starts to feel it. Zings to Moles across the middle of the field. Somehow makes the catch, and he could go all the way. 84 yards, 14-12. The Bills within 2.
Yeah, and Flutie's confidence has translated right to Eric Moles. Watch the nice one-handed catch right there in traffic, and then he continues on down the field. Shows great courage and athleticism.
They try for 2, and they don't make it. It's 14-12. Now it's 17-15 pass. Flutie scrambles. Dive. Is it a first down? Drive continues. 6 plays later, 7 minutes to go. Flutie. Andre Reed with pass interference called on Steve Israel. 3 plays later, 3rd and goal. After 2 runs are stopped, Flutie to Reed. 14-play, 8-minute drive. 21-17 Buffalo, but they don't get the 2-point conversion. Ken Urban, Bills, hoping they can hold on. 54 seconds left, no timeouts. Bledsoe, Ben Coates, down to the 37. Bledsoe, Sean Jefferson, we're both feet in. This is on 4th down. The game's over if he doesn't make the catch. Oh, tough call, but they give the pass a first down. Bledsoe, 6 seconds left. Hail Mary. Terry Glenn can make the catch. But no, second life for Pete Carroll. Pass interference on Henry Jones. Game cannot end on a defensive penalty. So with no time left, to Coates in the corner. Carroll, Bledsoe, excited. Why not? They've gone the length of the field again. Wade Phillips, stud. Bills say we're not even trying to defend the extra point. This is why the Patriots got 2 points instead of 1. They run it in. Patriots 25, Bills 21. On Monday night and on Sunday, they've gone 80 yards or more in the last minute or so of the game to win divisional games. Both they and the Bills are 7-5, and the Patriots and Drew Bledsoe in particular, a major gut check.
And that is correct. You have to start this with Drew Bledsoe. I think he's shown a great deal of character over the course of the last 2 weeks. That will translate to his football team, and now they're a different ball club going down the stretch. They have confidence that he will carry them on his right arm.
Stunning loss for the Bills, who could not put the hammer down when they absolutely controlled the first quarter, and it came back to bite them. That's the first time that Wade Phillips has worn that sweater without a zipped-up coat, and they've lost all year. We got a game left to show you. Seahawks, Oilers from the Kingdom. The Oilers at the Kingdom to play the Seahawks, and Warren Moon bench for the 5-6 Seahawks, looking for a little spark from John Kitna. Steve McNair. Team down 17-9. Pitches to Mike Archie Bell in the throw. No, he fakes the pitch. He keeps it himself. Fools even me.
Yeah, great effort here by Eddie George trying to get to the goal line, and a better effort by the Seahawks pushing him out just before the ball can cross the plane.
So the first was a touchdown. George's attempt, a no-good two-point conversion. So they're trailing 17-15. McNair to Eddie George in the flat. George gets the Oilers in a field goal range. 37 seconds left. Al Del Greco. 42-yard field goal. Good. Oilers lead 18-17 with just 33 seconds left. John Kitna from
Central Washington
hits James McKnight for big yards, and a roughing penalty adds 15. Then he looks for Mike Pritchard. This is Kitna to Caboodle. Complete. Into field goal range, 13 yards. Mike Peterson, 48-yarder. With seconds left to win it. High enough, long enough, deep enough. Good! The Seahawks, Dennis Erickson, John Kitna get the win as they beat the Oilers, who were rolling and now have suffered 2 straight losses. So both the Oilers and the Seahawks are at 6-6. Kitna, 24 of 39 for 298. We loved him in the preseason. He's a guy that can play. They have some hope with him in the future.
Primetime Players is brought to you by OnNet from MCI WorldCom, your one connection to the world.
You know what? One of the classiest people in football gets my game ball. Ted Marchibroda is tied with Don Shula for most wins in the Colts franchise. As coach of the Baltimore Ravens, he gave the fans what they wanted, a win over their one-time beloved Colts.
And mine goes to the most valuable Falcon, Jamal Anderson, 31 carries, 188 yards, and a touchdown. He carried the load for his team today.
And the Atlanta Falcons joined Minnesota and Denver as playoff teams.
Yes.
And we're still in November. Well, the New York Jets and the New England Patriots with impressive wins today in the AFC East, and the Dolphins, too. And that now ensures that 4 will go to the post.
And the weather is getting ready to change, so I think we've got to see teams run the football down the stretch.
For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Primetime. The undefeated Broncos at the Chargers next.